Welcome to Nanoencrystal.
So silicon. So that is on 0 location, and place then cobalt at F CO E for you'll get pi I H plus K plus L. So like that you will get term. So basically then you can identify that it is because of some difference in the peak position, this structure factor because between CO and SI or Mn Si, and you identify different possibilities. So then we will identify, okay, this, you will get like this one, and you write it for all the structure factor completely. Then we can identify that, okay, there is a disorder is there. Some disorder between CO and SI is there. So then, so we can identify that CO and SI disorder will be there. And another possibility is like Mn and Re disorder will be there. So which actually causes this F111 peak, this 111 reflection to be lower intensity. So they got my point. So if you write it like that, you will find out from these terms there are two kinds of disorders are there. The disorder between SI and CO means dislocation and dislocation, or dislocation and dislocation. If disorder is there, you will get 111 peak to be lower intensity. So that you try to do it in the next step and check whether this peak will get reduced or not. So we are going to do the slightly change in this configuration one, but with this different disorder. So you just open it one and you change the PCR file. Okay, go to the refinement section and go to the atom. So now what you do is do the okay, I will cancel this one. Sorry. You save as. Now we are interested in disorder. So the disorder is between CO and SI, and save it as. Okay. So there are files. So CO SI disorder. So if you open with Notepad and you play with this, there are 4 atoms are there. So what we are interested in CO and SI. You just copy, okay, and paste it. Okay, type is now you change this is CO and SI. What we are going to occupancy is not 100% right now, so we are going to give 50% for this. So that means there is a swap 50% there and SI and CO side. And this now it's 6, so we keep number of atoms to be 6. So we got this step. So we are interested in now look whether there is a CO and SI disorder is there or not. So it just close this one and it just run that second disorder file. So this one. Okay, now you see that this peak is slightly reduced but not as expected. So similar way you can actually do different possibilities. So for this system, I got the best refinement. If you consider okay, as you can see here, I got the best refinement. If I consider Mn at 0.5 location, that's a different configuration. And if you consider CO and Re disorder, so then this peak 111 and 200 peak fits well, and this is the refinement that I have got it. So this is the crystal structure. Finally, I got it for best refinement. So the student has to investigate a different site occupancies and do the refinement for different configurations. Like if I do it for first configuration, second, then they didn't match for one peak. So one student has to look for the intensity mismatch in this structural refinement. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please. Yes, sir. Please proceed.
So you can actually go through this paper. So only look at this how the refinement is done, and we practice. And if you have doubts, please let me know.
Excuse me. Hello.
Yes.
When you have changed these occupancies, so while fitting, do you keep it variable, or each time we have to add it and put the values to check?
No, don't keep the occupancies. Don't keep it as a variable. You try to change it, and make sure that the total occupancy is 1. So here in case, what we have done is we change it to 50%, right? So here is this file. Okay, here you see that. I have changed it to 50% here. So this is the site 000 site. Okay, XYZ 00, and this site is 50%. Now other site is 00 location. Keeping 50. Party you have to keep it is 60%. So you should make sure that. So the atomic site, the total occupancy should be that ratio. And the second thing, this one is this system has 1:1 ratio. As you can see, okay. As you can see here, this one is a 4. Multiplicity is 4. Okay, that means if you take a proportion is 1:1:1. Okay, so if the FullProf has a different option. Either you can keep 4 as occupancy, or you can divide with this maximum number. You can keep as 1:1 for all the sites. Suppose sometimes people will face some situations like he has to keep one atom at this location, he has to keep one atom at 16. Then occupancy for this site will be 1. Okay, if you divide by 4. For this one, you should keep 4, not 1. Okay, in FullProf. In FullProf, that is the meaning. Hello. So you can follow this means exercise and do the refinement for the different configuration and try to get the best refinement. So best refinement comes if you consider. So I'm showing the best refinement. So the first one you consider. Okay, you. So best refinement comes when I keep Mn at 0.5 location. Okay, and okay. Save as. So here actually, okay. So now our next part is like that you have to focus on this peak. So we should investigate the type of disorder. So here type of disorder is found between CO and RU. So if you open with this one, CO and RU, these two sides. So now number of atoms are 6. You change the number of atoms to 6, and you change this. 9.5. This one is RU. and this one is CO. Make sure that this type you are changing. So this is just first one is just a label. Okay, second one matters. Now we have changed these two. And if we do the refinement of this one, oh. So it actually now matches this one. And if we carefully do the refinement like another parameters, like edit, like ABC. Now in the final step, we can try slightly these terms. Okay, they will get good refinement. So there is peak width is still mismatched, so you can increase that peak shape parameter. So the peak shape parameter is this one, zeta 0. So this we can keep 1.0. So now some peaks or intensities are not so much. You try refinement of these B values. So you go to the atoms and you try to refine one by one this temperature factor B values for different atoms. And make sure that that value should not go to the negative value. So make sure that if it is positive, okay. If it is going to negative, you will give some positive and finite number. Don't make it as negative because we cannot come out of innovative. So if B is coming to be large value, that means that the atom is vibrating a large, so that it's not stable at that location. So some discrepancies there at this equation. So that's all, and sometimes we can also take once this one and we'll try to pick one. So apart from this, there is sometimes what happens is it's not purely polycrystalline. These reflections will be oriented along one direction, like say 002 locations like that it happens. Then in that case, you should look for the prefer orientation. So then you have to play with this G1 and G2 parameters and give the prefer orientation direction. So in this case, it's not looks like there is a prefer orientation. Sometimes it happens. Then make sure that G1 and G2 sum is should be 1, okay, and your G2 is your prefer orientation, the percentage of prefer orientation. So in case like say if we have 2 0 0 location prefer orientation, you give this is how much prefer orientation you have, like say 40%, then I will give 0.4, and your G1 will be 0.6. So you should look do the refinement to prefer orientation if prefer orientation is found, and you play with the different orientation possibilities. So anyway, this is not there in my system, so I'm not doing this refinement. I'm giving as 1 0, and the other quantity is 0. So asymmetric quantities I think rarely comes. So these are this full width of maximum or shape parameters. So if peaks are not, the peak shapes are not matching properly, you should play with these numbers. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Could you please tell once again, in the starting you have told peak matching, how did you match the peaks? In the just starting, when you were starting from this FullProf suite programs, and then peak matching you have done that?
Sorry, in this one, FullProf, you are saying?
Yeah.
So which step I didn't clear?
In the starting you have told about how to match the peaks.
No.
Before editing this PCR and this just
okay, so okay, there are actually different ways to get this PCR file. What I actually prefer is I generate the PCR file. Okay, so first you have to open the data file. Okay, I'm actually repeating for you. So you can just copy this data file, nothing earlier. So you create a new file, new folder. Let me tell you once again. So you need just this file, data file. So the data file contains X two theta column and industry column. So you change the working directory. You copy the working directory and you change the working directory. Go to the FullProf manual and select working directory. You change it. Okay. So whatever it creates, it will be created in this directory. Now we open this wind plotter. So there is icon is there. You click on this one. Okay, and there is a folder option called is there. You click on that folder. So these different formats are there. Okay, and you should stick to this one. So I'm actually following the X and Y data columns. So there are two columns are there. Some people what they do is initial angle, step angle, and final angle. Okay, and they give the data. So in that case, you have to select the second one. So this data is corresponds to the first column data. So the first one, you click OK. So then you select this data file. Okay.
Okay.
Now we got this pattern, XRD pattern file. Now our task is to identify these peaks. Okay. So there is called the point selection option is there. Okay. Is click search automatic peak search. And in the peak search, you select K alpha radiation because we use the source as a K alpha radiation. But if you are using neutron diffraction, you can use the single peaks. And if your radiation source is molybdenum or cobalt iron, you have to change it to different one. Okay, then the PCR file, that wavelength K alpha 1, K alpha 2 will be changes. So you should keep in mind. So what type of XRD source we are going to use that one. So here is the K alpha source, copper radiation source. So we are selecting the second option, and you click noisy sometimes if you are getting too many peaks. Otherwise, you play with the disabling or to play with enable. So you can do it in number of times. It not matter, and give some number here. That any number from 0 to 10, and click to see how many peaks are selected. So sometimes what happens, more peaks might be selected and some peaks might be wrongly selected.
Okay, please carry on.
ஏதோ ஒரு இது சொன்னாலே அதை பத்தி கொடுத்துருக்கான். நம்ம வந்து எக்ஸ்ரேஸ் அதை பத்தி எழுதணும்.
Excuse me, please.
Participants, please mute your mic if you do not have any query and ask question after unmuting yourself.
So this entire tutorial is there in the Y203. So they are in the Y203 tutorial. So the steps are clearly mentioned, like opening this window. So like say they have clearly mentioned in the Y203 tutorial. I have shared you in the mail. So there is option for selecting directory. They have clearly mentioned. So win plotter opening and how to load the data. Okay, and how to select this called indexing. Everything is there. What you have to is actually follow this tutorial once and let me know if you have doubts. Y203 tutorial. Please go through that tutorial. So the graphical screenshots also there in that one.
Thank you.
So I would request to the participant try to use this tutorial.
Y203 tutorial. Y203 tutorial is there. So you follow the tutorial and practice once. Okay. So for CoRuMnSi system.
Sir, I have already shared that file with this tutorial. You can download it.
And there is one more PDF file. Y203 tutorial file is there. You follow that one.
Yes.
Okay, so finally once we get refinement, so I have not shared. So it is our duty to give this in the publisher what we got. Okay, so I am going to that one. So let me produce the required output files. So let me change it to the old directory, working directory. Okay. This configuration too. Okay, go to the edit PCR. Now you look for the output folder and you select this. You want crystallographic information and other symmetry information. You select what you want in the output file. Okay, and there are other options also. Okay, there you can select them what you want in the output format, and you just run once. Now this data can be exported. You just say data has different format like multiple column or XYY column, and you can then that file can import it to the origin and can plot. Now let's look at the output file in the refinement folder. So it's configuration 2. So you will see that out file is there. ER file. So there is the out file. So in the output file, you can actually get the information. Okay, like earlier I said, this related to your refinement. So the background, these R factors. So here is the file. So this is a phase 1. Okay, your user weighted chi-square value is 1.85 and drag factor, RF factor, and your HKL values corresponding multiplicity, that's called T. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that multiplicity, like earlier I have told in this expression, like here I have told, right? So this information you can find here. So the P is called multiplicity here. Say for 111, multiplicity 8, and this full width of maximum, this column, and this is 2 theta our time of flight in the case of neutron direction. Here it's 2 theta where the peak is occurring, and calculated instant intensity and observed intensity, and you can see that how much a change is there. And this is a structure factor. This is what I call relative structure factor, because it is for this peak, and you can see that. So, and your D values, DHKL values also you can find it here. So this is information that you need to share with your publisher once you completed the refinement. And so these numbers should be as small, difference should be as small as possible when you get the refinement. And so these are the values. And this is related to phase 1, and you will get that what is the volume fraction, volume, and other factor. If you have, in case if you have a 2-phase system, then you will get one more phase like this one, and there you will get the phase 2 information along with this scale values that related to the phase number 2. So this is very important. And once the student has done, he can actually use the zip file as created somewhere here. PCR file is there. A zip file, you can drag the zip file and you can visualize that. Crystallographic information file, then student can visualize this your refinement structure if they want to show it. We got it right. So we have created zip file. So this zip file where it comes, and you in the refinement section there is output option is called, right? There we have selected this crystallographic information to generate it. Here you can see here that in the output we have selected CF. Some people may ask for the RPA file or symmetry related files. They can generate them now, and then these files also. It's depend upon the user. So zip file, basically if you create it, it will be useful so that you can actually visualize the structure, refinement structure using the Vista program. So I suggested to download Vista file. So here you can visualize. If you have selected option crystallographic information file, you can visualize in Vista using Vista software. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Thanks. Today this much only.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share.